In this video, I'm going to get 6 weeks of content done in just 5 days. So you want to watch this whole thing because I am taking you through the entire process, not just showing you me recording, but I'm going to take you through the planning, the systemizing, the scripting, the recording, and the creation of it all. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you stay tuned. Baby. Hey, I'm Chanel, and if you're new here, I go by the brand hustler in these internet streets. And if you're anything like me, you dread creating content, okay? Although creating content is a part of my livelihood and is a part of my brand and my business, sometimes it can be super overwhelming. You have to show up in multiple places. You have to look the right way, say the right thing, attract the right audience. It can all be super stressful. And quite frankly, that is one of the reasons why my brand started to take a dip, because I started to take a back seat in the game of content. But we are fixing all of that today because I have spent the past couple of weeks literally picking up the pieces of my brand and business to revamp it in 90 days. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna put you up on game. So your girl noticed that her brand was taking a dip, and as a result, her business was also taking a dip. I realized this in part 1 of my brand is failing vlog, which you can watch right here. And then in part 2, I took you through the journey of creating a sales system. Well, today we are going to talk all about creating the content that feeds into that sales system, builds brand awareness, builds your likability factor, and makes your audience fall in love with you. Like, who doesn't want that? I do. But we're gonna do it without the stress of all the things that I just mentioned. So I basically spent a lot of time creating a content system. And this content system is a way for us to effortlessly, in a way, create content in a flow. It's a process that we do over and over and over again from here on out. So my first tip before we get into this overall video is to ask yourself, do you truly have a content system? Do you truly have a content process? Because it's important for you to start there. Many big names and many coaches and gurus tell you to just grab the camera and create the content. But let's be for real. You got to be strategic with it, and you have to know what piece of content is connecting to what is generating a sale, what is generating a lead, what is generating awareness, all of the things. And you also have to make sure that you plan to be in a flow and in a groove where you can just get the thing done. So like right now, I am in my closet and I am recording this vlog because according to my content system and process, I just got to get this done. And although my entire closet is a hot ass mess, because we are going through it and we're organizing it and all the things, I just decided to start this vlog because I got to do it. It's part of the process. But now that I know that this is one of the main things that I'm responsible for, it makes it easy because I know that I have a system that is going to support me once I record this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you a sneak peek of what my system looks like so that you can go ahead and create one for your content. And then we're going to get into creating this 6 weeks worth of content. And if you are wondering why my closet is empty, it's because everything's right here. Everything literally is in my room. So you got to get a lot of your pieces of life together at the same time whenever your brand is failing or your business is failing. You got to kind of revamp all the pieces of your life because believe it or not, your environment plays into your success. Let's get it. All right. So here's my content creation workflow that I started to build out on Canva. First, I outlined it on big sticky notes. This is a part of the big sticky notes that I created. Pretty much what I did was I selected a heartbeat platform. And then using that heartbeat platform, I figured out what the main process needs to be for all of the formats of content. And then from there, I figured out what the content repurposing strategy needs to be so that way I can be on different platforms at the same time. So this is actually something that I talked about a little bit with the members of Bomb CEO. We talked about them choosing a heartbeat platform. And quite frankly, In the near future, I am going to walk them through how to create a content system, but I want to make sure that everything is pristine first before I share it with them, because Bomb CEO is all about me actually figuring out the strategies, testing and using the strategies, and then I teach them how to do it. So Bomb CEO is literally golden. But anyway, so as you see, or I don't know if you can tell from my handwriting, but YouTube is my heartbeat. I came to that conclusion through several ways. If you don't know how to figure out your heartbeat, it's definitely something that we can talk about if you decide to join Bomb CEO, or if you just have a quick question, definitely comment below this video and ask me. But from there, I figured out that there's 5 types of videos that go on YouTube. So I have my main videos, which can be anything from me doing a tutorial, such as how to design a website or how to use Canva. I then have my sit down talking tip style videos like that. I then have, so that's under main videos. I then have live videos, which I recently restructured the strategy, because before I was just going live, as a way to touch base with my audience, which is great, but I needed that strategy to be strengthened, and I needed to connect it to my sales system, like I was saying in the last clip. So we reworked that, and I'm super excited about this new live strategy. I don't want to say no one else is doing it. No one else in this space is doing it. So I'm super excited about that. And I actually know that it's going to allow me to connect with y'all on a way deeper level. I'm so excited for it. The next type of video that I put out on YouTube are vlogs, aka something like this, where you get kind of like a BTS behind my work life, my day-to-day life, so on and so forth. I've done vlogs in the past where I was balancing wedding planning and work. I was doing a bit of self-care, a date night, and talking about customers stressing you out. This current vlog is about revamping my business and working on my content. So stuff like that, those things are vlogs. I then have real talk videos. This is something that I've only done twice on my channel, but I really love to do. This is for those entrepreneurs who are in the nitty gritty already, and they understand what comes with actually owning a business. They've already launched, and they're really tuned into my opinions on certain things. That's what this is. It's a relaxed, chill type of feel, but not all the way podcasty, because it's still, I don't know, it just balances itself out. I'll put an example on the screen if I remember, so you can see what one of the real talk videos were. It's basically like where I take a main emotion or thought that I know a lot of entrepreneurs experience, and I touch base on that. So one of them was about oversaturation, and I love doing that. I had my tea and everything, and it was just so nice. And, a good amount of you guys like that too. And then last but not least, I have a podcast. So we recently turned Hustle Talks into an official podcast. And in the future, we have some amazing things planned for it. And even though it may not be on the same channel after a while, it may be on a separate channel, it's still on YouTube, and we will own that channel and be managing that channel. So 5 different content types solely from my Heartbeat platform. And so the reason why I went over this with you is because your Heartbeat platform should be a platform where you can generate the most of your content with ease. All of these, even though it's 5 different pieces of content and they're all different, I can generate these things with ease. So the fact that right now I'm recording a vlog about my content system, this is something that I'm doing easily, right? So that's that. And then the process goes a little bit like this. I'm not really going to go in detail to it, but these boxes and the arrows are like a highlight of the process. And then from there, I turned it into this master chart. And this is actually not complete yet. I still want to come in and finish some of the content repurposing things. Now, the way that we do content repurposing is not the way that you heard about it. So people would teach content repurposing as taking your content and just chopping it up into small pieces. I no longer believe in that. And I have a strong angle. I stopped believing in that I think last year, the end of last year. I don't believe in that. Okay. There's a different way. And I came up with a word for it versus using content repurposing. Before lack of better words, I've just been using that. But quite frankly, there's a better way to reuse your content without it being stale. Okay. And maybe I should do a separate video about that. If you want me to do a separate video about that, comment down below. Because yeah. So this is what it fully looks like. It goes through the ideation process, which are all of these up here, and then it breaks down into the different content types as you see: sit down videos, vlogs, real talks, da 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 da. It then goes through the whole process of what we do to outline, create it, da 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 da, post-production, all the things. So this is what I mean when I say you need a content system, right? Because you want something that you can plug and play, and then it pretty much can scale up as much as you want it to. Super excited about this, but now that I shared this with y'all, it's time for me to head out because we got to get some videos scripted. So one of the things that we do on this content system, if you look, you'll see that all of the videos start off with outlining and scripting no matter what. So vlogs, I don't script, but I do need to outline scenes and shots and stuff like that. Real talks, I don't script either, but I outline them. So when I sit down to script, it's important for me to do my outlines and then to do detailed scripts for the videos that need detailed scripts per se. So that's what I'm about to do now. And then after I'm done with scripting, I then have some recording days, which we'll talk about later on in this vlog. So let's get going then.
Your bitch want party with Cardi. Party in a Rari. Diamonds all over my body. Shining all over my body. Cardi got the bitch on Molly. Bitch, you ain't gang, you lame. Diamonds drop in the lane. Off the brain. I'm insane. Pick up a chick on the chain. Pick up a chick in the flame. Crazy can make you upset. Cardi got rich, they upset. Cardi put the pussy on offset. Cardi got brain on offset. Cardi can make you upset. Cardi got rich, they upset. Cardi put the pussy on offset. Cardi be brain on offset. You get this motherfucker started. You took your bitch at the party. I took your bitch at the party. You that be blast, Martian. You that don't blink in the cut.
It is now 7 o'clock on the dot, I think. 7:01 now. So it is 7:01 and the cafe is now closed. So I have to head out. This is my stopping time for today. I didn't start as early as I wanted to today, and then I had a super long break in between. Well, not super long, but too long. But I did get so much done, right? Despite the fact that my sinuses are acting up and everything is like bothering me all in this area, I was able to script all of my videos except for 2, and those 2 are new style of videos that we haven't done. So it's gonna take quite a bit of attention to detail there, because those videos are meant to be a little bit more entertaining, just a little bit different in the editing style and things like that. But I can't delay scripting it because I need to record it, so we have a lot of time in the post-production phase to edit it in the way that I envision it. So we got all that done today. On top of that, I also was able to do a couple more things. So I was able to create and finalize all of the titles for all of our videos, and then I was able to give some thumbnail direction for them. My EA was working on community posts for us, but I realized that I needed to train her on something else, so I outlined the training, and I'm going to record that once I get home, and then she will work on the community posts. But I'm still going to explain to you how I would do it, because I've been doing the community posts so far up until this point, and now I'm training her to do them, so it's one thing off of my plate, but it's still a part of prepping my content for the next few weeks. So I'm gonna make sure that I show you that. I literally wrote it down and then I put everything in my book bag, but I also was able to just hash out a lot of different things regarding my content, so I'm super excited about it. It was a really productive session. Now, other than recording the tutorial for Onisha, I am actually going to get some stuff done for the closet. So I'm gonna take y'all with me. We're gonna head to pick up my husband, then I'm gonna drop him off at the gym. We're gonna head to Home Goods. I gotta do a little bit of grocery shopping, and then we're going to head back home, and somewhere in between meal prepping, I'm going to be working on the closet, and then we're gonna call it a night after that, and we'll continue this vlog tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get going, shall we? And just like that, I am officially done filming today.
Sometimes you love too hard, sometimes you go too far. I won't want you if you need me. Real things do not come easy, no. Never been your average girl, so take time with me, take time, baby, talk to me.
I actually have another day of filming that I had to schedule for later this week. But before I get into that, let me show y'all my little setup. So I literally had my ring light over here acting as a sun light. And then I have the lights on in the kitchen just to have some more lighting, but the light in this area is off. I then wanted a little backlight, so I turned on the picture light on the wall. Here's my chair. Because of the video I was recording, I wanted to have a microphone. So I have my microphone hooked up to my computer right there. Literally, we just hung up our curtains maybe like last week. So we still have the pole and everything. I had to move it to the side, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, okay, to get the full look. And it actually looks pretty good, and it is the vibe that I was going for, and I know that after it's edited, it's gonna be really vibe-alicious. But that was the third video that I recorded today. Today, I recorded a very, very, very long video before, and then I did 2 real talk videos, and I wanna explain the schedule behind them all, and then also just how I segment my videos and all of that. All right, so let me show you my schedule, and I gotta eat because I'm starving. But on my schedule, you'll see that last week, Monday, was scripting day. I started the vlog on that day. And then 2 days later was recording 2 videos. I didn't get to record those 2 videos on that day, so I had to make up for it today. And today I was supposed to record 3 sit down videos. So my real talk videos were supposed to be recorded on last week, Wednesday, but I recorded those today and I recorded the other video today. I also had to add 2 videos to my lineup because our boot camp date was originally a different date than it is now, and we timed the amount of videos that we needed to take us all the way to the boot camp in like a week and a half, or maybe 2 weeks after the boot camp. So I wanted to make sure that that cushion was still there, because now the boot camp is happening on the 12th and the 13th, which the 13th is the day before I leave for my birthday trip. So I definitely need to make sure that all the videos are done, because I don't believe in working on your birthday. So I'm not gonna be working my birthday trip, and then my actual birthday is November 19th, and I'm definitely not working on that day. I think I'm gonna do like a spa day or something that day, but definitely not working. So with that being said, I needed to make sure that stuff was recorded. So that's how I did my schedule. I highly recommend batching because it helps. The way that I like to think about batching is I like to think about batching as you don't want to inconvenience yourself more than once when you could just inconvenience yourself one time. That's how I have to think about it. Because people will tell you about batching and they'll be like, oh, it's gonna make you so productive and da da da. Quite frankly, when I'm about to record content, I go through so much, whether it's getting the right lighting, finding all my equipment. For some reason, I'm always either losing a battery for my camera or something, and I'm always running all over the place. By the time I get settled to record and I catch my breath, it's probably been like 45 minutes already into the actual session. And so what's the point of doing all of that if I'm only gonna record or create one piece of content? I might as well create a bunch of content. I went through this headache to get to this point. Let's knock all the ones that we can knock out of the park and call it a day. So I highly recommend that you batch. That will help out a lot. Something else that we put in our content system is repurposing, but I'm gonna get into that in a second. I got this from the Mexican supermarket yesterday, and I can't wait to eat it. I was gonna make my own tres leches, but they had it, and this looks like it's 4, not 3. I'm pretty sure it's 4, because I see this line. If you see that I think that's if what I think it is, then it's the right thing. Honestly, I've usually only gotten tres leches in Miami, so this is gonna be my first time in Atlanta getting it, so hopefully it's good. But about content repurposing, I think I'm gonna show and explain some more stuff on the bed later, because I wanna like show you diagrams and stuff. But a big thing talking about not inconveniencing yourself is, I said, as much as I could get done in these sittings, let's get them done. So the goal is for me, Chanel, to create all the video content that we need in 3 days. in 1 week or 1.5 weeks, split over 3 days. And that content then turns into content ideas for other areas, which I'll explain tomorrow, or not tomorrow, tonight on the bed, but that's the goal. And so any video that needs to be on Instagram or anything like that will be recorded, and anything else that's not a video, well, we already have the idea for it before today. So that way it's not a constant tug of war. So that's like the content system that we are going with now to make it even more smooth. Super excited about it, and I'll show you some more details later. Good morning. So I know that I said that I would explain content repurposing and all that type of stuff on the couch last night, or in bed or something. I said I didn't get to that. I fell asleep on the couch. But what I want to end this vlog off with, since it's about creating a content system, is I actually want to give you 3 main tips that helped me go from overwhelmed to really feeling real good and strategic about this thing. And quite frankly, I know that this is working because I just feel less overwhelmed, less stressed, and I feel good about things again. We're about to break it down on my handy dandy dry erase calendar, but just act like it's a dry erase board. But we're gonna do this side, okay? So the first tip that I have for you, number 1, is to find a heartbeat platform. Now, what this looks like, right, is you're gonna have your heartbeat platform, right? Hopefully you can see that heart. You're gonna have your heartbeat platform. This heartbeat platform, you're gonna pour most of your energy into. Literally, when I say most, I'm talking 90% of your energy. You're gonna pour into this heartbeat platform. Then this heartbeat is going to breathe life into at least 2 secondary platforms. So let's just make them stars or something for right now. It's gonna breathe life into these 2 platforms. So what mine looks like is, it looks like, okay, YouTube. And I know this is like wobbly, but y'all, you know, it's a vlog. It's not really a teaching video. YouTube, and then YouTube breathes life into email, and then that breathes life into Instagram. And eventually we'll have a 3rd leg where I'll go back to TikTok, which I absolutely don't remember. Something like that. Step number 1 is to pick your heartbeat platform, because once all of your energy goes into that platform, you don't want to have to put 100% into all of these other platforms when you can use the heartbeat platform and pull different concepts from that one main platform. So for example, if your heartbeat platform is YouTube like mine's, you can create a 15-minute video about something, and then within that 15-minute video, you have all these mini stories that you can pull. You have all these mini teaching moments that you can pull. You have all of these mini funny moments that you can pull. There's so many things that you can pull from this video that you can then turn into carousels, reels, TikToks, emails, blog posts, so on and so forth. Honestly, it makes sense. And so you want your heartbeat platform to be something that you can put a whole lot into. And when I say that, your heartbeat platform shouldn't be something like Instagram, because it may be a little bit hard unless you are doing live videos on Instagram. That's long form. So now you can take what you talk about in that live for 45 minutes to an hour and then pull nuggets from there. Think about it like that. You want it to be a very large mass of a concept, and then you can pull bits and pieces from there. If any of this is going over your head, I'm gonna give you something that can help you out in a second, but I'm gonna go through the remaining steps. Step number 2 is to create a content system. I shared what my content system looked like at the time, at the beginning of this video. Since then, I have developed it to be this monstrous thing where we have different legs that get repurposed at certain times, different people tapping in to do certain things, whether it's reviewing content, editing content, SEO for content, drafting the emails, all the things. So for me, I have about, I think it's 4 or 5 of us that are working on a content system right now. For you, it may just be you, or maybe you and a VA, but you still want to create a content system that sticks to a certain timeline, sticks to a certain flow, so that way there's less room for mistakes and it gives you more room for productivity. And then my 3rd tip is to create a schedule where you can batch create content. A lot of people talk about batching content and they talk about doing it in like one sitting or one day. In reality, we batch create content in so many different ways. So because we know that we need to design things like thumbnails, that gets batch ideated, right? Which means I think of the idea all in one sitting, then we give it to a designer now that will then design all of that in one sitting. I then have it where I script all of my videos all in one sitting. I then go ahead and record my videos, and I split that up into different sittings, 3 sittings to be exact. I split my bulk recording up. So that alone is 5 different days where I'm batching different aspects of this creation process. Once we start heavily posting on Instagram, I may include a day for just Instagram ideation, but not really, because the ideation comes from our main videos. But maybe I have an Instagram day where I make sure that all the carousels and things are put together, or whatever the case may be. But that's how you batch. So you want to look at it like a series of days versus just one day where you're trying to do a mixture of design, edit, record, all the things in one day. That is what's stressing you out. Separate what the steps are and batch those steps. So if you outline your content creation process and it's 7 steps, okay, if I want to post, 15 pieces of content this month, let me batch create step 1 for all 15 pieces of content on one day. Let me batch step 2 of all 15 videos on another day. So now you've split up batching over maybe 7 days because it's 7 steps, and you batch create for those 15 videos, and boom, you're done for the month. You can also put similar things together. So maybe step 1 and step 2 is not a whole lot to do, and you can batch both of those things in the same day. So maybe it is coming up with the titles and then also designing the thumbnails, or maybe it's coming up with the topic of the reel and then also outlining 3 main points. Maybe you want to do those 2 things together, steps 1 and 2. Go ahead. That shortens the amount of days that you have to batch. So now instead of batching 7 days, you can batch 5 days or 6 days. Does that make sense? And then now you have 30 days worth of content in only 5 days. That's how batching truly works. And that's the secret that a lot of people don't tell you until you pay them. But I just told you that completely for free. Which is why if you got a lot of information from this video, or a lot of information from my previous parts of this revamp vlog, part 1, part 2, and part 3. In part 1, we talked about how to really realize when your brand and business is failing and how to create an action plan to revive itself. In step 2, or part 2, I should say, we talked about creating a sales system so that you can truly make money while you sleep. And then in part 3, I showed you what it's like to have a content system and to create the content. And so if you are struggling with any of these or all of these, you definitely want to have your butt in the seat at the brand bootcamp, because we are going to whip your brand into shape. It is a 2-day workshop where I am going to walk you through everything from having groundbreaking fundamentals for your brand all the way through marketing your business from a brand-centric perspective. And you're gonna walk away with a clear-cut action plan on what to do in the next 90 days to save your brand and business from failing, or to amplify your brand based on where it's at right now. So whether you are stuck, whether you are seeing that your business is tanking, or whether you're in the beginning stage and you're like, ooh, I just don't want that to happen to me, I wanna prevent it, then you need to be at the brand bootcamp. It's gonna be so lit. You wanna go ahead and join the wait list because tickets are limited. And if you are interested in VIP will get some extra time with me, some extra intensive coaching from me. You'll get to be audited by me, and you get some extra bonus goodies in there. If you wanna be a part of the VIP clique, then you definitely wanna make sure that you join the wait list, because those tickets are even more limited, okay? This is a virtual workshop. You don't gotta leave your home. You can be kicking it on the couch. You could be, sitting on your bed for the 2 days, whatever it is that you want to do. Just make sure that you are there at the brand bootcamp, because it is going to change your brand and business, honestly, forever. I know that's a big claim, but trust me. All right, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you hit the subscription button, okay? Because if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at The Brand Hustler, and I will see you at the bootcamp and in the next video. Bye.